and conspiracies. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll wait for some more people to pop in. What's going on, Quincy? Just got the kid down for a nap. Hopefully he stays asleep for a little while, and this doesn't get cut short like it did last time. But we'll see what happens. Just man, just chilling on a Saturday. I don't know what the weather's like over where you're at, but it's just it's overcast, like this drizzly bullshit rain. You know, like not even real rain, just annoying. You know, but hey, didn't have to work today, so I'll take it, man. I will take it. Whew. How's your Saturday going? Yeah, I think so too. I'm very excited for it to go to the external exchange. I forget the date that they said that they were going to, but you know it'll be late this month or early April. I can't remember right now if they said like I don't know March 26th or something like that, and I just kind of pushed that back a week because I really do. I love Thorn, but they're not. They don't have the track record of hitting their dates like they say that they're going to. Which it's a brand new company. They're running into unexpected shit. I get it, but every time they give a date, I kind of take it with a grain of salt now. What's going on, Faith? Just chilling out on a Saturday night. The weather's pretty terrible where I'm at, and it's just it's like it's just overcast and kind of drizzling. It's not even like really raining, just that kind of like can't make up its mind what it wants to do, kind of bullshit. But hey man, it's Saturday, so there's that. So I'm actually not entirely sure what Thorn is up to right now. I haven't logged on to it since I got paid. Let's go ahead and I forgot to do that before before the live stream, and no offense, guys, but I'm not about to hit my login shit with you guys on the stream. So, what do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about Thorn? You want to talk about Fine? You want to talk about JFK? The Federal Reserve? The real reason that we rebelled? For the revolution? You guys want to talk about the Illuminati? Yeah, that's what I've been noticing. It's there were a couple of little spikes upwards, and I didn't really notice any like good snap ups, like 30 or 40 cents or something like that. But there were a couple of transactions for like 57 or 58 cents. But it's been hovering right around there for I don't know, about the last week actually. There was a little bit more movement 1 week ago, but it's been pretty consistent right around. I'd say about 54 cents has probably been the average the past 4 or 5 days. But I also haven't been like monitoring it like a hawk because I started my long-term staking. So for me, the price, I'm just not paying as much attention to the price because it's not a big deal for me with the long-term staking right now because I'm not selling my daily interest. I'm kind of banking them up, going to see what I can do, try and save some up. I'm kind of kicking around. Crypto Keeper's got a good idea. He'll bank up like 100 Thorn in interest, and as soon as he's got 100 Thorn in interest, he'll start a short-term stake. So I've been kind of playing around with that idea. I don't think I would want to use 100 just because I'm only generating anywhere from 5 to 7 a day. So that would be, about almost a month's worth of thorn for me. That's kind of a lot to just save up and not do anything at all with. So, but I was kind of considering doing like maybe 25s. Just every time I hit 25, start a short-term stake. I can cancel at any time if I want to do something with those thorns. So let's say the price does jump up to, I don't know, $15 or something like that. In a few weeks, then I can cancel one of those stakes and, maybe sell some or start up a new long-term stake or something, I don't know. The possibilities are endless, man. So, I guess we'll just go ahead and kick this off. It's been going for a little while. I was kind of hoping to get more people in here right away, but that's okay. I mean, it's Saturday night. People got shit to do. I was originally going to do this tomorrow, but I was going to go on a trip to Universal Studios with the wife and the kid. And we were going to go. There was 2 other families that wanted to go with us. I guess one of them bailed out around Wednesday or something like that, and then I found out this morning that the other one bailed. So we're probably not going to go, just us. He's still too young to go on any rides or anything like that. And we can do the thing where you go to when you get to the front of the line, like I stay back with the kid while she goes on the ride and then flip-flop. Like they'll let you do that, but it's kind of, I don't want to ride rides by myself. And honestly, she kind of wants to go for the rides, and I'm more of a like Six Flags kind of guy, like big giant roller coasters. But they do have some pretty cool rides over at Universal. Interesting stuff that they do. So I'm not going up there tomorrow, but I figured, I've already changed the time on this thing once. I didn't want to change it back. Just go ahead and do it tonight. So I guess we'll go ahead and just start talking conspiracies, unless you guys want to talk about, keep talking about Thorn, or we can talk Cryptos rumors. We can talk Finecoin, Libra coin. Although I'll be honest, I'm not in Libra yet, so I don't, I've been paying attention to it, but not as much as I would if I was like had any money into it. And Finecoin, I'm at the point with my little arbitrage experimentation here, where I've got an open order, and if that goes through, then I'll have enough to go ahead and pull out like my initial investment plus 20%, and have more Finecoins than I started with. So I've kind of been kicking around the idea of doing that, so that way, I have made a profit off it already, and I can be a little more conservative with my arbitraging, just trying to hit 3 to 4 cent differences multiple times a day, rather than, right now I'm targeting right around 10 cent differences, and just, you have to wait for the opportunities to present themselves. They will present themselves if you're patient and if you have the time to watch or get lucky. What's going on, John? I know. You've been talking about it in the comments. I've been pretty excited about it too. So right now, just kind of waiting for more people to get in here, more tinfoil enthusiasts to get it going. I'm just kind of talking about Thorn and Finecoin and Cryptos. Let's see. Only in Thorn, Cryptos, and Monix. Thorn is the only one actually doing something. I saw on Monix page on Facebook posted that they are possibly changing sites. Really? That's interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I have zero interest in Monix. The only thing that interests me at all is the fact that you can get them for like a nickel right now. So you could go in with a couple $100 and get a decent amount. You could get what would that be, like 4,000 Monexes or something. And so that way the price doesn't have to even go up that far before you can get a pretty good profit. You're looking at maybe having plans for 15 or 20 cents, or hell, why not a dollar? But other than that, I just it's nothing bad about Monex. I never really saw anything in their white papers that really grabbed my attention to begin with, and then I guess they've changed their whole game a couple different times. Which I do get. You have to adapt to times. You got to flow like water. I get that. But I know that if I was in it and I had invested in a lending platform, and then they just suddenly became an advertising platform or whatever it was they did, and then changed to something else, like, I'd be a little pissed off. Because that's not the company that I invested in. But at the same time, you do have to have flexibility. That's a lot of flexibility. So I really do hope it works out for you. And everyone else that's in it. I hope all these platforms work. Realistically, they're not all going to work. I know that. But that doesn't mean I don't hope that they all do for people that are in them. So keep me posted on Monex. It'd be good to know what's going on. What's going on, Mustafa? How are you doing? Oh, yeah, so Finecoin. Anyway, I've been doing the arbitrage. And if this order comes through, I will have 380 Finecoins, and I've got two different trades open right now that are worth about $115 each. So if they get fulfilled, there are a couple. I think they were like 230 fines or something like that. So if those get filled, I'll have the opportunity. I've got one in Bitcoin, one in Ethereum. I'll have the opportunity to just go ahead and pull that out if I chose, and that way I would be completely freely invested in Finecoin, and have already pulled out a little bit of a profit. I'm talking about $40, so it's not like anything to get super crazy excited about. But a profit's a profit, and I would still have almost 400 coins to play around with, so that's not bad at all. Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, something feels really off with Monex. On the side, it shows what I'm assuming is how many Monex tokens are bought in the internal exchange, and it jumped from 300K tokens to 30K in one day. That's not necessarily fishy, man. So you got to understand, a lot of people, like what I'm doing with Finecoin, the arbitraging, the day trading kind of a thing, a lot of people are really into that, and that's what they like to do. So with Monex, their price has been pretty freaking stagnant. It's been 5 cents for a long time, and a couple of days, like here and there, you could maybe snap them up for 4 cents for, 20 minutes or something like that. So having a drop in volume like that is not unexpected when the price stagnates. When the price is moving around, that's when you're going to see a lot more volume typically. The only reason to have volume at that point is people, getting into it like maybe for like a pure lending aspect. If it was still a pure lending site, which I'll be honest, I'm not in Monex, so I have no idea if that's still a part of their site or not. Or you got people that are looking to buy in, and other people are just like, I'm tired of this, I'm getting out. So that's where your volume will be coming from at that 30K mark. It's good to spend a good portion of my day telling YouTubers to grow up and be adults and take responsibility for their own decisions. Yeah, exactly. Right? So no one held a gun to my head. No one threatened my kid. Said put money in Thorn or else, shit's going to happen. And so if everything I'm into goes completely tits up, I'm not going to blame anybody. This shit happens. I'm not going to lie and say I wouldn't be a little bit pissed off. I would be a little salty about it, but at the end of the day, it's my choice, my decision. And why I'm not investing super heavily in this stuff. Because when these things work, you don't need to invest super heavily into them. Which the crypto space right now, like the overall community, the investors themselves. It's a weird climate. So lending platforms, 4 or 5 months ago were great. You could easily, 20, 30, 100 times your money, right? And it was not at all unheard of for a lot of these lending platforms. You buy in for freaking whatever, 30 cents and end up selling them for $30, or $20 or whatever it is, whatever your price point's at, and the price would usually skyrocket way above that anyway. So, it's an entirely different time, guys. I still love lending platforms. I don't know if I'm going to be getting into any new ones from here on out, just because the whole climate has changed. And it really makes me sad when people, especially grown-ass fucking men, adult men, blaming other people for shit that they did. Like, I get, I understand that a lot of people hate the Oracle. They're absolutely convinced he's nothing but a no-good, dirty, rotten scam artist, yada, yada. And it is their moral crusade to warn everybody about the evils of this man. I understand that there are those people out there. I just don't get the mentality behind it, right? Because, look, if somebody scams me, fucking good on them, because they were a good goddamn salesman. Because I've heard a lot of bullshit in my life. I've heard a lot of bullshit. And if some of that can still convince me, then they're a good salesman, right? They're a great bullshit artist. And you kind of got to respect that. Now, that doesn't mean you have to keep going into their shit, into their platforms. But for me, if I make a decision where something's a scam, right, I might make a post, a video, like one time, just saying, hey, man, I think this is a scam. This is why. And then guess what? I'm never going to mention it again because it's not worth my time, my energy, worrying about this crap. Like, it just makes no sense, dude. Personally, I believe Amway is like a huge waste of time. I think it's a huge scam. Yeah, some people do make a lot of money in it, but the vast percentage of people that start that crap never make a dime, or barely scrape together a living. Working freaking 70, 80 hours a week, man. And that's a supposedly super successful company. I think it's publicly traded and all that shit. But I usually keep that to myself because it doesn't affect my life really. These people that get into Amway or, whatever, I don't know, Herbalife, Primerica, all those crap, all those things. At the end of the day, it's your decision to get into that stuff, and it's your decision to continue spending your time doing it, even after maybe you're thinking it's not worth your time. It's your choice, man. Don't blame some YouTube guy. Don't blame the dude that talked you into joining. You can kind of blame him, but really 98% of the blame falls on your shoulders. Just like any mistakes that I make fall completely on me. It just doesn't make any sense, man. It's not healthy. What are you, a millennial, Faith? Goddamn millennials. I remember seeing a news article about how millennials are being, they're being stupid with their money because they're buying houses they can't afford, right? And then I don't remember if it was Time Magazine or some shit, but this same magazine, a month later, were millennials are killing the housing market because they're not buying houses or some shit. I remember seeing the side-by-side picture, what the fuck? And unfortunately, I'm also a millennial. I looked it up. I'm on the oldest cusp of being a millennial. And that really hurt to find that out. So I completely get it, man. Plus, I've always hung out with people that were older than me. Even when I was a kid, I was hanging out with my uncles or the high school kids, or I've got cousins that are, when I was 10, they were 16 or whatever. And I'd go hang out with them. I was that kid, that guy. You probably had one or two that followed you around when you were that age too. or followed around your little group of friends. That was me. Always been that way. So I don't really get a lot of the mentality of the younger people in the country. It is what it is, though. Times are changing. I agree. I didn't like Hitstake and researched and presented what I found of the YouTubers. I followed one time and let them make their own decisions. Exactly. And Hitstake looked good when I looked through their white papers and all that stuff. And then I think you pointed out, I think you brought me, was it Crypto Monster, I think, John. I think that's the one you brought me. And someone else linked Yardy's video on it. And honestly, seeing stuff like that, it's a very, very similar IP address that changed the last 3 digits. So there is a chance it's not the same company. Maybe they're just, rented out the same freaking building or some shit, or came from right around the same area, So for me, that's not necessarily like an automatic get the fuck out, right? But here's why I pulled the plug and posted the video, like the retraction video, is I know people, I know the mentality of the herd, right? And 99% of people are going to see that and just be like, this is 100% a scam. There ain't no fucking doubt about it. Bitcoinly was 100% a scam, and they are connected. It's probably the same guys. You know what I'm saying? But just seeing something like that is not necessarily a 100% no-go for me. But the fact that I know that everyone's going to pull out of this fucking thing. So even if it wasn't a scam, right? Even if it was, someone bought a used computer or some shit to start this thing with and register their website or whatever. Whatever it was. Right? Like, they didn't know. I'm not saying that they didn't know. They probably are the same guys. Let's go ahead and get that straight. But, it's... Even if it wasn't a scam and everything launched beautifully, like the website worked beautifully, internal exchange was working, the lending was, their bot was paying, all this, that, and the other, right? If there's nobody in it, it doesn't matter. I mean, shit. Look at Thorn. Thorn's a great platform, right? I love the functionality of their website. Their customer service is outstanding. The only thing I've got going against Thorn, in my mind, is their seemingly inability to hit dates. They say something's gonna happen on March 1st. It doesn't happen until like March 19th, right? And I understand why. It's a brand new company. I get that. I completely understand. And I'm not knocking or fudding Thorn, but I'm not gonna cheerlead exclusively for these guys. And I do have a couple of small little things, right? But overall, great platform, great opportunity. Price still isn't going anywhere because, people are just scared, and the lending space is not what it used to be. So with all the hype behind Thorn, if it's still stuck at 50 cents, a month after the exchange launched, I would have zero faith that Hitstake would have gone really anywhere, even if it wasn't a scam. So why the hell would I go into it? And yes, if Thorn takes off, and it doesn't have to be Thorn either, right? Like, I don't know, LibraCoin could take off. Monix. Oh, what the hell? Oh. Monix could take off, right? It just takes one to really take off to get people excited. Now, would I love it if Thorn was the one to take off? Hell yeah. That's the one I'm most heavily invested in. Thorn or fine. Either one. I would love, but we just need one of these things to take off, and it'll breathe life into the rest of them. You're 100% right there. Yes, Thorn coin to the moon. Just maybe not right now. But I do believe, given time, because Thorn is trying to build a sustainable platform. That's everything they're doing is pointing towards sustainability. So how far behind am I? Okay, not too bad. Yeah, so they're trying to build for sustainability. They're lowering their payouts. They're lowering the short-term staking. All this stuff, which is designed for them to last longer, right? Which gives them the chance to get up to the moon. But keep in mind, acceleration has to happen at some point, you know, because every one of these platforms does have a life expectancy. Now, I do firmly believe that, you know, everyone that's in Thorn will make a ton of money when it's over, as long as they don't get weak hands and sell out, you know. Born in 92, but man, sometimes I feel like I was born in the freaking wrong generation. I'm amazed by the stupidity of some people. Well, let me tell you something, bud. Stupid people aren't limited to millennials. I'll tell you that right now. But I get I get where you're coming from, man. Starting to feel old. Have been in EMS as long as Faith Unity has been alive. John, you ain't starting to feel old. You is old, man. Hate to break it to you. Love you, though. I think it's really cool that you're a paramedic. I've got a buddy of mine that I served with. He was a paramedic for a while. He was doing that and going to college, and then somehow just ended up working on the damn railroad. The guy makes like $35 an hour and doing nothing. He just sits around playing on his phone all day. You know, and this he's one of those guys that just has that luck. He just lucks into this crazy, awesome, high-paying job that doesn't require him to really do anything. You know, that's just how he went through his entire Marine Corps career. And he's just one of those guys, you know. Like, I love him. He's a great guy. But goddamn, do I get jealous of some of the shit. Like, stuff just falls into his lap. You know, I would love to be one of those people. Like 2 minutes away from taking my money to them before I saw the notification in Oracle's video titles. Yes, that's good. Now, I do remember I haven't seen any comments on any of my videos from you guys, but I do remember seeing a comment or two somewhere in one of the videos in the space. It might have been the same guy twice, but, you know, at least one or maybe, you know, two different guys was able to pull money back out of Hitstake before everything. I think they shut down. Honestly, I don't know. After I saw those videos and posted my video, I closed that tab, and I've got no reason to look up Hitstake anymore. But you know, so there was at least one guy that was able to pull his money back out in time. In that hack, man. So I don't know what to think of that hack, because on the one hand, if it was actually a hack, and you're a hacking group, and you're going by Chaos Computer Club, I really fucking hope that you're still in high school, man. Because when I first saw that, I was thinking I was in one of those old '90s movies, you know, about the hackers clubs or whatever. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Like the old, like in the 90s, like the, you know, hacker, you know, the kid who just like furiously pounding away on the keyboard and suddenly he's in the DoD mainframe or some shit. Like, you know, I know just enough about hacking to know that's not at all how it works. But still, like, that sounded to me like something you'd see off of one of those old 90s movies, dude. You know, so good on you guys. If that is a real hacking organization, you know, and they hacked this website because they thought it was a scam or found out 100% that it was a scam or whatever, good on you guys for doing that, you know, but that's just, I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the name. On the other hand, I'm not even sure that they got hacked. Maybe they just got found out and tried to play it off like, oh man, we got hacked, you know, because no one's ever done that before, right? Who the hell was that? Who was that? Trevon James, I think it was, and Crypto Nick or whatever. Same day, supposedly got hacked, like an hour after BitConnect went down or whatever. Just before the Facebook page disappeared, they warned people not to send money to Hitstake. Oh, so they were actually on Facebook telling people not to invest. So that's actually kind of cool then. Gives the government plenty of time to read all your comments and take notes. What about me being too old? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I ain't old, dude. I ain't old. Shut up, John. You're so mean. But yes, I mean, if you don't think that Big Brother's reading and watching everything that you do, watching everything that you're watching, you're fucking wrong, dude. Now, I'm not saying that I believe that there's an NSA agent for every person who just sits and watches, monitors what you do. But, I mean, if you think that AI bots in the stock market are advanced, man, fucking NSA and Homeland Security after 9/11 had blank checks, dude. They could get as much fucking federal money as they wanted. You think they didn't go and buy up a bunch of shit, paying dudes to like create brand new shit that they've never even talked about? No, man, I don't believe that for a second. Like that they didn't do that, you know. So at the very least, I believe that there is probably a couple of like supercomputer banks for every region, you know, and I don't know how many regions they would break it up into, you know, whose only job is everyone who's in that region, you know, that computer is watching what you're doing, you know, and tagging like the keywords that you're searching for. And if enough red flags pile up, maybe then it shoots you over to an agent who reviews your case. But I'm telling you, this shit's real. Like, it's bad, dude. I'm a veteran, okay? I love this country. But I gotta tell you, the past few years, I've lost more and more faith in the government. You know, I don't want to get political on this channel. I really don't. You know, but I've lost a lot of faith in the government. What's going on, Nightmare? We're just starting to get into conspiracy stuff. And yes, John, absolutely some conspiracies are true, man. How's it going, Chris? Yes, it was Craig Grant and Trevon James, not Crypto Nick. I couldn't remember which one of those guys it was, but it was one of the, one of the Big Connect. Oh wait, I got hacked. Oh shit. Fucking. I love that video, by the way, that Big Connect guy. There's like a whole bunch of different videos, like remixes and shit of that guy. You know, man, if I was that dude, I would hate myself right about now. But, you know, I don't know. He kind of looks like a friendly, happy guy. Maybe he's rolling with it and taking the jokes on the chin. I would. Oh, so I was behind on reading the comments. Well, I mean, you know, like I don't get them all up on the screen at once, dude. You know, so I get to talking, and I didn't know that, it doesn't move the comments around when new ones get generated. So I have to look every once in a while just to see how far behind I am. Do I like Suppleman's channel? I gotta be honest, I haven't seen enough of his videos to really have an opinion. You know, I think I've seen one or two, but I like to go through someone's channels and watch 4 or 5 of them to kind of really get a feel for him. Because and especially now that I'm a YouTuber, I did this even before I was like started making videos, and some days you're just off. Some days you're just off. You're not really feeling it. Like you 100% believe in everything that you're saying, but whatever, dude. You're tired. You don't really have enough time in the day to dedicate to prepping and doing a video, but you got something you want to get out anyway. So sometimes I'll see like a video from someone's channel, and I'll be like, man, this guy's fucking weird. Like I don't think I like this guy. But then a couple days later, I'll see another recommended video, and I'll click on it, and I'll be like, wait a minute, no, I know this guy, but it sounds completely different. And it's just a much better video. So I like to watch 4 or 5 videos before I really say whether I like something or not, whether I subscribe to it. So I just haven't seen enough of Suppleman's stuff to say one way or the other. Yeah, they've got keyloggers on everything. And if you notice, a lot of VPNs have an option to turn off keylogging. I'll just go ahead and say that. And that's I've been using VPNs for a lot longer than I've been in crypto. Like, I've been in crypto for a while, but not in like the investing make money kind of way. Just watching it and, like having fun, just playing around with miners and stuff. But I've been using a VPN for a long time. Exactly, John. Like I know for a fact that the FAA has 7 regions in the continental United States. that they can, like regional things, right? And that's just the freaking aviation administration, dude. They're in charge of the airports. That's what they do, So I'm sure that it varies by agency and all that stuff, but dude, it's scary if you actually go and read the list of powers that have been granted to the surveillance agencies and stuff in the past, I don't know, 15 years. It's scary, man. Like, privacy is... there is no more privacy, man. None. And who was it? Ben Franklin? Someone who would give up his privacy for security deserves neither. Some shit like that. Like, I firmly believe in that. I just can't remember if it was Franklin or one of the other founding fathers that said that. Speaking of the founding fathers, I have heard quite a few things about them. I don't think it's really any secret anymore. I don't know if it ever really was a secret. I guess way back, it was a secret at the time it happened. But a lot of the founding fathers were Freemasons. Like almost all of them. And back in that time, Freemasonry really was a secret society. Like all that Hollywood stuff about hush hush, don't talk about this, like secret handshakes and all that shit. So a lot of them were Freemasons. And so I've heard a lot of theories about that. And that the real reason that America was founded was as a den for like Freemasonry. And for the Illuminati to grip hold. Now, I'm going to go ahead and qualify this. I'm not a Freemason, okay? But I have a lot of friends who are. And I've talked to them a lot about Freemasonry. And it's not at all what you would think. It's really not all that, and I'm a self-admitted conspiracy theorist junkie. I love conspiracy theories, right? And so I've heard a lot of juicy theories about Freemasonry, but it's really not. It's, basically, it's kind of like the best way to describe it nowadays is that it's kind of like a spiritual program. It's not saying that they have like a church and they believe in like one God, but a lot of their stuff is based on a belief in a higher power. It doesn't matter what it is, but, and it's actually a really cool thing. I enjoy talking to them about it, but again, I'm not a Freemason. No privacy at all. Nope, none. But I have heard a lot of theories about how all the founding fathers were Freemasonry, Illuminati agents, and they were being forced out of England or some shit, which is weird because they weren't at all. There's still lodges over there, man, to this day. But, and all this, that, and the other, and, they're being forced out of England, so they wanted to form like a Freemason country, like a haven for all of them. And I'm just like, man, okay, so a lot of them were Freemasons, but that doesn't mean that that's why they did it, I do believe that it was way more than just the price of tea being controlled by the king. But that's a lot. What's going on, country boy? Oh, shit, see? There we go. We got a Mason in the house. I was actually kind of curious about that. I was just talking about the juicy conspiracy theory that all the founding fathers were Freemasons and that they actually founded America to be like a Freemason country, like a safe haven for all Masons and all enlightened ones, right? And there's also the theory that it was really the Illuminati, trying to seize like a shadow government in the new world and establish like world dominance. Which actually, if you think about it, we kind of did come from a ragtag band of farmers to being the back-to-back World War champs. You know what I'm saying? America! So what are your thoughts on that, country boy? I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. Every once in a while, you just got America. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to.
Nope.
Looks like I might not have a whole lot longer on the stream. She's probably going to be pissed that I didn't answer the phone, but, you know, I don't think any of you guys want to hear that conversation. Who, the Freemasons don't believe in the New Testament? Look, man, Freemasonry is not... It's not a religion. It's got nothing to do with that. Like, Country Boy can tell you that the belief in a higher power is a big part of the program, for sure. But it's not a religion. That's not what it's about. So why would they believe in a New Testament or not? Why would that matter? Yeah, exactly. Eight known signers were Freemasons. So yeah, that's quite a few of them. That by no means all of them. I think they just happen to be influential people of the time. Which, if you follow who is and who isn't a Mason, a lot of them, a lot of influential people tend to be Masons. I'm not saying all Masons are like people of influence, and if you join Freemasonry, they give you a Lambo and all that shit. Nope. 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 Okay, hang on, guys. I'm going to go find out what's going on, and I'll restart the stream in a couple minutes, okay? Nope. All right. How do I stop? Up here. There it is. It was hiding. All right, be right back.